Some say this year's NBA draft has been the weakest in a very long time, and that next year's draft is going to be filled with talent such as Andrew Wiggins and Jabari Parker. And sadly, that's all I really hear about. I mean, the top 14 guys that were picked this year are all starter material. You can't say that about last year. Austin Rivers isn't starter material, that's for sure. There's a lot of upsides in this year's draft that just seems to be overshadowed by next year, which hasn't even happened yet. So hopefully when the NBA season starts again this year, those guys will get some love and they'll be able to prove what they're worth. But yeah, this draft has been something else. It's been crazy, you know. I haven't seen that many drafts because I haven't been around since the days of Chris Bosh and his fellow brethren walking around, eating trees and all that, eating leaves from trees. So there might have been more exciting drafts than this one, but this to date has been the most exciting draft, and that's probably because there wasn't a single star player that stood out, and I like that. You know, a lot of people didn't know whether Nerlens Noel or Ben McLemore would have been pick number one, but then Cleveland picks, and it's Anthony Bennett. You know, they surprised us again for the second straight year in a row. Last year it was Deion Waiters. A lot of people didn't think he was worthy of the 4th overall pick, but they do it again, and let's just see if it works out for them. I, for one, didn't think Bennett would be picked first overall. I thought he would go to like Charlotte or Phoenix, because that's around the area he would be at. And I thought, just like everybody else, that Noel and McLemore would be the first 2 picks. But I guess I was wrong, just like everybody else was wrong, too. In fact, they weren't even in the top 5. Somehow they managed to slip to 7 and 6. I understand why some teams, the first 5 teams didn't pick Noel because, you know, he was coming off an injury. They didn't want to take a chance. They wanted to be good now and not later. But McLemore, really? I mean, I know he's been having some trouble with like showing up to practice and whatnot. He reminds me a lot of DeMarcus Cousins, like in a shooting guard form, and that's kind of bad considering him and DeMarcus Cousins are going to be on the same team, which I don't know how that's going to work out. They're both kind of have the same attitude. Hopefully, one of them could grow up and become a leader of the team. But McLemore and Cousins, that's gonna be something to watch. I'm surprised Alex Len and Cody Zeller got picked before those 2 guys. And I'm pretty sure Charlotte doesn't know how to draft properly. I mean, Cody Zeller, that's a risk right there. I mean, they need a big guy, but he's not that type of big guy they need. So now I'm going to switch it up and tell you guys my favorite picks in this year's draft. And you guys could leave comments below telling me which picks you like the best for each team, and I'll be sure to read them. Starting off, Victor Oladipo has to be one of my favorite players in this year's draft. A lot of people also like Otto Porter. He's a very athletic small forward. But something about Oladipo I really enjoy. I really enjoy watching, and I can't wait to see what he does with the Magic. I know they're in the rebuilding process, but hopefully he becomes a star of that team. I also like the trade between the Timberwolves and the Jazz. I mean, the Timberwolves drafted Trey Burke. They already have Ricky Rubio. They don't need another point guard. I mean, they also have J.J. Barea and Luke Ridd now. I don't know if they're going to trade one of those guys, but they don't need another point guard. So they did the smart thing and traded him away to Utah for Shabazz Muhammad. And I believe another power forward. I can't pronounce his name. It's like Diang or Dang or something like that. I just butchered it probably, but I like that trade. I feel like it's going to work out for both of those teams. Now to the 24th pick, the New York Knicks select Tim Hardaway Jr. That's a good fit, a good backup for Iman Shumpert, considering J.R. Smith is money-hungry, devil-worshipping Illuminati. I'm just kidding. Yeah, hopefully they don't sign J.R. Smith again. He just shoots up bricks for the most part, even though if he can be clutch. I just think Tim Hardaway Jr. would be a better fit to back up Iman Shumpert than J.R. Smith would. And sadly, my hometown Spurs team didn't really make a great pick. You know, I don't really know anything about these guys they picked, and that's probably because they have the 28th and 58th pick. But I think the 28th pick was some guy over France, and it was like a hide and stash kind of deal. And my last pick I really enjoyed seeing was the Houston Rockets selecting Isaiah Cannon, a good backup point guard for Jeremy Lin. And he's probably even starter material when Jeremy Lin's having a bad game, which I'm pretty sure he will have a lot of those next season. Those are some of my favorite picks in the draft. The whole funny thing about this draft was seeing. I know this is cold-hearted and whatnot, but Nerlens Noel's face when he saw that he wasn't the 1st overall pick, when he wasn't the 2nd overall pick or the 3rd overall pick, he was popping mollies and sweating when it was Charlotte Bobcats' turn to pick. He did not want to be there. And it's just funny. I know it's sad that, he got his dreams crushed of not being the first overall pick, and then he thought he was going to go to the Pelicans with Anthony Davis to be the long toothpick twin towers, nothing against the Pelicans or anything, but that just probably wouldn't work out well together. Technically, they both play the same position, so that really wouldn't work. But what killed me was the Drew Holiday trade. That had me angry. I'm not even a Philadelphia 76ers fan, The Kevin Garnett, the Paul Pierce trade, that doesn't matter to me. I don't care about that. But the Philadelphia 76ers trade, they traded Drew Holiday for Nerlens Noel. Are you kidding me? I feel bad for Drew. I mean, he was an all-star this year, and they trade him away for a... That sucks. They don't even want to trade Evan Turner. They love Evan Turner. They should have traded away Evan Turner for Nerlens Noel, That's stupid. I know I'm kind of late to my opinions on this draft, but better late than never. Like I said, you guys can leave me your opinions about the draft. And I'll be sure to check them out and compare. The gameplay is kind of irrelevant, but as you can see, went into overtime. This guy had LeBron James at point guard. I mean, come on. Whoop-de-doo. LeBron James again. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.